Thank you. You are now tuned into another edition of the End of Day Report with yours truly, Dex the Algo Capitalist, aka the Vulcan, coming to you live from PulseWaveTrading.com, home of the world famous PulseWave price trigger reports that we place in your hand each and every trading day. All right, so real quick, this is going to be a quick end of day report. It's been quite a busy week for me here. I just wanted to go over a few things, show you a couple of charts ahead of tomorrow's Take Back Friday. All right, so let's get into it. First chart we're going to look at is going to be gold futures. All right, we're going to go there first. And as you can see here, this is what we're looking like. We're still consolidating. We haven't done anything. All right, this market is still mute. It is not moving up or down. It is moving sideways. But the bias is still to the long side of the market, with any slight intraday pullbacks being bid back up again. So again, we're not really going anywhere. We're not really doing anything. Nothing really here to see for now. All right. Intraday price inflection points for Friday is irrelevant because we're not doing anything. We're not trending. So it doesn't matter on gold. Looking at the long bond, the ticker TLT. All right, the bias is still to the long side of the market with pullbacks being bid. There's no point giving a take back Friday intraday price inflection point because we're not going anywhere. We're still moving in a sideways channel in bonds. Taking a look at Tesla. All right, now Tesla is a different story. Now Tesla, the trade is still to the downside. You see we're getting a lot of downside production from these crash alerts. The trend line support around the $350 mark is the target, the price target for this. As long as Tesla can close above $420.49 tomorrow, it remains in a situation where it could actually technically bounce from here and put in a short-term bottom. All right, but that's what it would need to do. That's where it needs to close tomorrow if that's going to be the case. But we are still under that the bias in the market, that sell bias. All right, so we're still in a downward slope right now in Tesla. All right, taking a look at Ethereum, but we're looking at the ETF Ethereum. The ticker is ETHE. All right, right now the trade on this one, believe it or not, is to the long side of the market. They're moving sideways and basing out. So we have a rally alert for tomorrow on this ETF. Trend line resistance overhead is the initial target around that $70 mark. So that's what we're looking at there. Sticking with the ETFs, this one is the Bitcoin ETF, GBTC. All right, on this one, believe it or not, it has switched from a bullish bias to a bearish bias with a crash alert for tomorrow's trading. All right, so this one is definitely you got to watch it tomorrow. I think this one's going to be sliding down. NASDAQ 100. All right, we're still under the crash alert with the bias to the downside. We got nice downside production today from the crash alert coming into today. The market already exceeded the trend line support. So now I think the top of the Kumo cloud is the next target. So right now, downside is the bias. In order to put in a short-term bottom, though, this market would have to close tomorrow above 11,255. All right, failure to do that keeps us in a bearish camp and more correction coming for next week. Looking at crude oil futures, we got a rally alert for tonight into tomorrow's trading. This is a secondary rally alert. All right, so this one is trying to stage a comeback for next week. If we close above $39.70, I'm sorry, $39.07 tomorrow, then it opens the door for more rallying for next week. Looking at silver right now, we have a secondary crash alert here. All right, so as you can see all week long, the trade bias has been to the long side of the market. Now we're getting the secondary crash alert. So here's how this works. As long as you're still in the bias is still to the long side of the market, if we do not get any downside production, then that means whatever happens tomorrow in the market will be bid back up come um, Sunday night, Monday morning. So the trade bias is still to the long side of the market. I think this signal for a secondary crash alert will more than likely act as a springboard opportunity for this market to actually rally into next week. All right, does that make sense? Hopefully you get it. So the bias is still to the long side of the market unless we see any type of downside production tomorrow. All right, the US dollar index, the trade is still to the long side of the market. Been having problem with overhead resistance, but I think the dollar stands a good chance of breaking into the Kumo cloud next week. Looking at the euro yen, okay, the euro yen has came down some more today, ended the day on a spike down. That's a bearish pointer, okay. The trade bias is still to the short side of the market with rallies being sold. So I think the euro yen will see more selling coming in to next week. Looking at Apple, all right. So on Apple, the trade is still to the short side of the market. We got downside production today from the crash alert that we had coming into today. Market did hit that trend line support. Bottom of the Kumo cloud is the secondary target. In order to put in a short-term bottom, Apple would need to close above $113.74. All right. Failure to do that sets it up for more downside next week. Now, looking at Ethereum, Ethereum had nice upside production today from the rally alert. I think the trade is still to the long side of the market, and I think we see more upside over the weekend going into next week. And then when you take a look at Litecoin, all right, Litecoin is a little bit different because now the trade is to the short side of the markets where the bias is. And we did get a little bit of downside production before the market popped back up today. I think this will get the fuel for another leg down over the next couple of days because the overhead resistance is proven to be pretty difficult. So we'll see. It's still, kind of consolidated also up here. So we'll have to wait and see. I would just follow the reports to a T with no deviation whatsoever on the Litecoin. Definitely follow the reports to a T. All right, taking a look now, this will be our last one. We'll wrap this up looking at Roku. All right, so this one has a crash alert for tomorrow's trading. Trend line support is the initial target, and the bias is to the sell side of the market for Take Back Friday's trading. All right, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty much a muted week because of the Fed. Now that's out of the way. We can get back to trading next week. I look forward to Sunday night. And remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. And I'm out. Peace.